Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. For this video, I would just be doing a DIY hair oil and applying it to my hair. Since starting my natural hair journey, I have made my own hair oils and hair butters. I still use store-bought ones, but I also make my own. So I'll just be showing a quick little DIY of how I make my hair oils. Now keep in mind, each time it varies. It's not the exact same way. Sometimes I use dry ingredients. This time around I didn't, as I was planning on using this oil sooner rather than later. And when it comes to dry ingredients, I like for it to soak in the oil for a little while. So I didn't do it this time. Also, keep in mind that I typically do not do measurements, but for the sake of this YouTube video, I tried to come up with measurements just so people could kind of follow along or get an idea of what it is that I do. But for the most part, I just kind of eyeball each oil. I will be listing the oils that I use in the description box below, as well as the measurements. I'll also try and list them on the screen, but I won't talk through each and every oil that I put in as I'm mixing it together. All right, so this is what my hair looks like about 4 to 5 weeks after me straightening it. Now, the curls that you see is probably 2.5 weeks old. I curled my hair some weeks ago, and this is just what's left of it. My curls tend to stick around. They're not the best, but they stick around for the most part. And I just wanted to give a close-up of my scalp. My scalp looks fine. I really don't have much dandruff. I don't really know what to give credit to for that, but my scalp looks fine. I don't have a lot of dandruff. Some days I have more dandruff than others, but today was not that day. So although my hair doesn't look terrible, in my opinion, it is time to be washed. It is time to move on. So I'm just going to comb out my hair before I get ready to oil it. I have plans on putting henna in my hair. Now, when I applied this oil, I did it probably a little too soon, in the sense of I didn't do the henna until days later. So if I was to do anything differently, I'd probably do it a couple days before, not like 4 to 5 days before, as my hair was really oily after applying this oil. Okay, so at this point, I'm just going to try and explain why I use some of the oils that I use. Now, when it comes to how I do my hair, or when I do DIYs or try different products, it's not always a rhyme or reason for me doing what I do. I just try it, and if I like it, I keep it. For some of these oils, I may have come across a video or an article or something that spoke about the benefits of the oils, but it was like years ago, and I don't really remember. Now, I just keep these in my little recipe and just add on or take away different things as I feel necessary. So I'm just going to speak about the different oils as quickly as I can. So the first oil is olive oil. I like to use olive oil because I feel like it's a good base. Like, I can pour a good chunk of it without feeling like I'm wasting my money. And I just like to use it kind of in that way. It's a good oil for me to build upon. That's just my personal preference. Sweet almond oil. At one point, I believe I used it because I heard it was a great oil to like penetrate your hair shaft, and I just kind of never got rid of it. It's also one of the looser oils compared to some of the other oils that I use, but I just keep it around because I like it. Amla oil, I started to use that because I used to use a lot of dried ingredients. I still do, but amla was one of the dried ingredients that I used, and I just didn't really feel like I was getting all of the benefits from soaking the dried amla. So I decided to switch over to amla oil, and that's what I've been using. castor oil. I have castor oil, but I've also used Jamaican black castor oil. But recently people have been asking me to make them oil. I think they feel like it's just gonna make their hair grow, but I mean, to each their own. I don't know. But because I was making it in bulk, I bought some castor oil, and I felt like that was just a better option for what I was doing. So I have been using castor oil, but I do like the thickness of it. And what I like about castor oil compared to Jamaican black castor oil is it doesn't really smell in the same way that Jamaican black castor oil does. So that's why I sometimes like to use the clear one. Another one that I use is Emu Oil. I like to use Emu Oil. I know some people don't like it because it is an animal product, but I am not somebody who's against using animal products. So if you are, then feel free to exclude the Emu Oil. But I do like the consistency of it. I do like how it makes my hair feel like on its own. It's something that I would use a lot more if it wasn't as expensive, but it's pretty expensive. So I don't use it actually I do use it a lot. I just can't use it as much as I would like to just because it's pretty darn expensive. But if you don't like using animal products, or if you're somebody who doesn't eat animals or anything like that, then you probably want to steer clear of it. I also put some pumpkin seed oil in here. I think that has something to do with like bald spots and bringing back some hair, as I feel like my hair is thinning in some places, as I've had the same part for like 10 years. So I feel like it's naturally thinning in some areas. So I try to use oils that could kind of help with that. Vitamin E is another oil. I can't even remember why I use it, but I just keep it around and I keep putting it in there. So those are just some of the oils that I included this time around. Each time it can vary, but for the most part, those are some of the consistent oils that I use within my little DIY oils. I didn't use any dried ingredients this time around, but even those vary every now and then. Now, I feel like I use this oil quite a bit. Not really on my straight hair. I'll just use it right before I'm about to wash it. But other than that, I wouldn't use it on my straight hair. As for my hair when it's wet, I use it all the time. I put oil on my hair all the time. I don't feel like I can wear my hair wet without oil, as in the past when I would try to do that when I was younger, before I really knew how to handle my hair, I would do that, and you kind of get that like mildew smell because your hair is just soaking wet in the middle still and it's not properly drying. But now, even with my hair still being pretty wet, the oil I think makes a difference when it comes to that smell or just that scent. So oil when my hair is wet is a must. Okay, so now I'm just going to massage the oil throughout my head or my hair. I put on gloves because I have a cut on my hand and I really don't want my hair to get snagged on it and make it worse. I do have a scalp massager, like a electric one somewhere, and I have no idea where I place it. So I just have to use my hands and just do it the good old-fashioned way. I did happen to buy these little combs. They're not combs, but it's kind of like a gua sha. I think that's how you pronounce it, like for your face, but like for your head. And I don't know how to use them. I didn't read any directions or anything like that. I just bought them, thought that I'd try, give it a little massage. It was okay. I do feel like it kind of gets the blood flowing, but then again, I may not be using it correctly, but you'll see them as I'm working this oil through my hair. I'll also kind of comb it through. So I did do this probably 4 to 5 days before I actually washed my hair. So it does kind of not absorb, sort of absorb, like it won't stay this oily throughout the whole time, but it was definitely pretty oily for me to be washing my hair days later. It was just too soon. so this is what my hair looks like at the end. Basically, it looks pretty moisturized. It doesn't look bad, but it is just too greasy for me for my hair to be straight. But this is just what it looks like after applying the oil. In my opinion, I feel like this is what you used to look like when you leave the salon, or at least what I used to look like when I would leave the salon back in the day. Hair just full of grease. But yeah, this is just what it looks like. I'm just going to brush it through. I will be putting my hair in like a bun at the top of my head, as it just felt the most comfortable. If you kind of notice my facial expressions while I was combing my hair throughout this process, certain parts of my head was very tender, as my hair was already growing out or reverted. I don't know if it was growth or if it was from sweating or what have you, but certain parts already reverted. And when that happens, it just makes my hair very tender, as my hair isn't going in, I guess, its natural direction. So it just makes my scalp pretty tender. But putting my hair up at this like top knot or top bun was just the most comfortable way for me to sleep, as well as just to give my scalp a little bit of relief. Okay, so this is my hair the next morning. I slept with it in this bun. I did wrap my hair, as I don't want oil everywhere. But as you can see, my hair is very oily, still stiff. It looks a little crazy. But I'm just combing my hair down to a lower bun, as I don't feel comfortable walking around with that bun on top of my head all day. So I lowered my bun, and this is just what I would do every morning. I would take it from that top bun to a lower bun and wear it like that for a few days. I couldn't wear it down because my hair is extremely oily, and I don't think that would be good, as my hair seems just a little bit more fragile like this. So I did not do that. But yeah, I wore my hair up and down like that for the next couple of days. I was going to do 2 braids, but then I felt that it would be too much to take those braids out and put it back in. It would just be too much of my hair. So I just put it in a bun and went to work and did that for a couple days. And then later on, I washed my hair. So that is it for me oiling my hair. That is all that I have for this video. Thank you for watching.